the #1 and 2 players in the world. It's a dream match that any Grand Slam final would want.
We could have a war for sure.
Nice shot from Agassi.
Oh, he got it.
This is the match we anticipated. No quarter given.
Oh, that's wonderful. Agassi has just dominated this second set.
What a shot.
This is great tennis. Just a magnificent slugfest.
It is tiebreak time in the third set.
There's tremendous pressure on Sampras here.
Oh, he went right into the body, and Sampras held his ground. Set point here for Sampras. Agassi still alive in the tiebreak. Agassi is a 2-set-to-1 lead. He got it. Agassi, the great, is going to serve for the championship here.
Game 7.
He just did it. This has been a tournament to remember as Andre Agassi wins it in 4 sets.
That was Agassi's first trip down under, as Mary talked about earlier. Pete denying Andre so many Grand Slam titles. That one belonged to Agassi. The many milestones Agassi has collected in recent years, this is one of the most Grand Slam match wins in the Open era, surpassing Sampras at these championships. Of course, he won't get to Pete's 14 titles.
Thank you.
Jimmy Connor's 233 is going to be hard to break too.
Yeah.
By anybody. Segli ruling that from the chair. Look long. Now we'll have to see if winning that third set turns things quickly here. Finish line was so close for Safin.
Guys have both been just pounding the ball so well off the ground that neither one of them has really been able to get into the net much at all. 15 times for Agassi, only 12 for Safin. It's really just because every rally is just the length of shot, the pace. Neither guy is looking to serve and volley because they're how well the other returns.
And then once the point starts, there's not many chances to come in either. No. With the depth and pace, Agassi kind of snuck in there. That he got to that is amazing. But Agassi holds. First game, fourth set. Rod still looks pretty fresh.
So Agassi sort of take a little glance over at Safin there when they walked to the changeover and say, this guy, I thought he thought he'd get tired too. Just as we all did, considering how much time Safin spent on court getting to this semifinal.
2 hours and 46 minutes is the match time. Anna Nardin disposing of the Colombian Zuluaga. Kleisters Just as Mary said, one tight set, one easy one, and another all Belgian women's final here, which you'll see Friday night in the States. Well, if you're Safin and you know that Agassi's checking you out, you don't want to give him anything as far as revealing if your energy level is dropping. Instead, just go back and bang ace number 27. That is pretty good energy conservation serving, isn't it?
He's just enjoying such a sweet rhythm, and he's the direction of it. I mean, he can serve into any part of the box. He's not losing any heat on his shots either. It's very few players in the world. I know I've said this, but it's worth saying again. Very few players can make someone like Andre Agassi inconsequential on a court. When Andre normally plays against feared opponents, let's see if Safin's getting a little frayed. Normally, if Andre just ups his defense, it's enough. But you almost get the sense now that he would have to increase his offense.
Shot Spud said that. Shot by Safin actually caught the back of the line.
Yep. Very few players can force Andre to play bigger tennis. Safin just might.
I think he already has, Mary. I mean, you look at the unforced, I mean, the winners, as you see Safin's coach there. I mean, Agassi's hit 36 winners to 23 unforced errors. Normally, he's keeping both numbers relatively low. Yeah.
Low.
I mean, in fact, Agassi said after he beat Paradorn Shrishafan, my intention was to play sort of boring, for lack of a better word, but just workman-like tennis, not to go for too much, not to make too many winners or errors. He realized pretty early on that that wasn't going to work against Safin.
Very easy service game for Agassi. 2-1 of the fourth set as Andre searches for signs of frustration from the big Russian. Still down a set, though. On serve, fourth set. Safin up 2-1. Courtside enjoying this slugfest is Mal Washington.
Yeah, I am enjoying it, and I have the best seat in this entire stadium. Two things that we've talked about. We've talked about the serve of Agassi. We've talked about the serve of Safin. That's a big asset for both of these guys. Take a look at this graphic right here, and it shows where Safin is serving the ball right now. All of his aces are the red balls. What does he have? About 25, 26 of them right now, but he's hitting his spots very, very well. What I think is very interesting is on his second serves, look where he's hitting them. He's basically hitting them to the middle or the backhand side of Agassi. Remember that last game of the third set? Agassi ran around a couple of forehands. That was the key. Agassi was looking for those second serve returns, but here's what Agassi has been doing. Yeah, a handful of balls right in the middle of the court, but he also is hitting his spots very well. Surprisingly, I think getting a lot of service winners on Safin, considering how well he has been returning this evening.
Some of those balls landing on what would be the backhand side, but Andre running around them, hitting forehand anyway.
Feeling we start to see Safin come in a little bit more. You know, that he's done that in his other matches at crunch time when it was time to
and points quicker. Is that reason?
Yeah, and to look to put the match away. You know, it's a smart tactic. In addition to, yes, Chris, saving some energy, but it's also when you feel like the finish line is getting closer and you can close out a match and you're as good as Safin is and you have the versatility that he has, that's the time to up the ante and make your opponent come up with something spectacular.
Match point against Roddick did that and ended up closing it out with a volley.
He's not a serve and volleyer by nature.
No.
He's a guy with a big serve, but for instance against Todd Martin, who was a serve and volleyer, Murat Safin was smart enough to serve and volley himself, try to take the net away. And that was a quality 5-set match that Todd Martin very nearly won.
Had the lead, and again, what impressed Martin was that it wasn't the old Safin.
That's right.
Melting down, questioning everything, coming unglued.
You usually like Todd Martin in those 5-setters. He sort of constructs them and designs them to take them.
It forces you to play a very patient game, does Todd Martin, and Safin had it.
Good reason for Safin to be upset. That ball clipped the line that would have given him 2 game points.
It's 2 calls that have gone against him and balls that have clipped the line.
Oh, what a runaround.
Dropper.
Nice changeup from Agassi. He was able to hide that to the last second, and then he caught a break with the net court.
And now, after all that running to lose the point, Safin's got to take a deep breath and try to save this break point. Gave him the runaround again. Catches the tape. Andy Roddick won't forget an error a lot like that on a break point against Safin in the 5th set.
He had a couple of forehands he'd love to have back.
Shot spot says that serve just catching the back of the line. Deuce.
What a demanding shot Agassi forcing Safin to come up with there, and Safin very nearly found the angle he was looking for.
No fingers and nails left in the Safin Friends box.
Was Safin, what, 2 points from a straight sets win into the final? Is he 2 points away?
Yes. Yeah.
The box remembers that.
Now on a break point, Agassi a swing and a second serve again. Jammed. Gil Reyes knows that besides Agassi's incredible gifts of stamina, all that work perhaps paying off. Agassi with the break in set 4.
Well, so many times we've listened to Andre Agassi explain his late coming philosophy of life, basically, that if you do the work, put in the work and prepare and give yourself opportunities, good things can happen. Right now, good things are happening for him.
Field has seen almost every tennis match that Andre's played, and he has a pretty encyclopedic memory, as Andre does, of them.
That's the kind of thing Agassi likes to see. Safin sort of bailing out of a point for the first time really in the match. Trying this ill-conceived drop shot. So Agassi had him on the run. Agassi's there and no problem.
Although he did catch the net cord there with that backhand.
Yeah. He walked, he had plenty of time on that. Feeling Agassi's going to actually start to just try to run Safin now and not try to hit out as much. Oops, so maybe he better start hitting out. Turn quickly.
Agassi's still under 50% when he's got to put in this second serve. And that return's coming from out of a tree.
That's just textbook. Now he's got him on the run. And Safin turns it around so quickly.
I think Andre started to think sort of what I was thinking, that maybe I should start running him and take his legs out, and he may realize, wait a second, I better just keep hitting out.
Well, he was running him. They had all turned around with one shot. I can see a point now for 4-1. Called long, and as the match time clicks to 3 hours, the guy who has put Father Time on hold is up a break, down a set still, the Aussie Open semis. That was the changeover. He said, don't take this point away from me. And he was right. Right on the line there.
Not that it's a big point.
They're all big points now.
No kidding. These are all going to be expensive misses.
Beginning of that, you could see Safin, I think, check with his box to see what they thought about the call. I think they communicated him. They thought it was good. Clearly it was.
Never a good move from the box to tell him it was good. Just to always tell him it's out.
Don't you do it, Davis Cup?
Look, now he's
getting
starting to lose it. All right, don't worry, it's not the old me. I'll get it together.
That's out.
Well, he's saying it's not the old me, but there are signs right here.
I think it's a tired new me.
Right. This is more physical than mental.
Well, it's everything. I mean, just the concussive effect of playing Andre Agassi. Look, Andre enjoys more than, as much as everybody else, this whole, the big Russian bear out of hibernation situation. But he's looking to beat this guy. And he's just trying to torture him.
Well, that was a little piece of torture right there. Safin gets to it but pushes it wide, and now triple break point for Agassi to go up 2 breaks in this 4th set. Still bringing it, only 4 miles per hour slower than his fastest serve tonight. Said Marat at the start of that, so he's talking to himself. This one has 5th set written all over it. Agassi up 5-1 now. We are keeping the on-court time running on these two guys. It was more than twice the time on court coming in, and now Safin has spent over 18 hours. Andre about 10 and a half.
It's about the last half hour that's really gotten to him. Thank you. The body blows.
Some hours are worse than others.
Yeah, this last half has really been something for him.
And Agassi playing defense but drawing him in. Expect to see a lot of droppers?
Not in the 5th set. Might see somebody drop, but it's not going to be Agassi.
Safin trying one.
Yeah, he's just going for the 5th now.
He's too tired to even be thinking clearly.
That doesn't bode well for the 5th. Can he regroup? Agassi now a point from forcing a 5th set.
14 seconds.
Well, no matter the physical talent of his opponent, Andre Agassi's will cannot be killed. Anybody feel like a 5th set for a spot in the finals of the Australian Open? The forces of time are relentless. Only the strongest can resist their assault. Andre Agassi has outlasted his contemporaries and has again worked his way into the semifinals of the Australian Open. He has won this championship 4 times and is 1 win away from challenging for his 5th. To do so, he will have to withstand the power of Marat Safin. The Mercurial Russian forced his way into the semis by vanquishing Andy Roddick in 5 pounding sets. Safin is returning to the form that won him the U.S. Open 4 years ago, but he'll need all of that and more to undermine the rock that is Andre Agassi.